I think, sir, you are muted. We
Okay,
cannot
okay.
hear you.
Yeah, please go ahead, Dr. Ujjwal.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you
I
so.
think a significant number of participants have joined, I guess.
Yes, sir, and they will join in meanwhile
Okay,
also, sir, because
okay.
our
So
starting
let's
time is.
proceed and introduce our chief guest for today. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. And a very warm good afternoon to everybody. I, Dr. Ujjwal, on behalf of Department of Biotechnology, Maharishi Markandeeshwar University, Mulana, welcomes the speaker of the day, Dr. Ajay Prakash, and he is holding a position of Associate Professor at Department of Pharmacology at PGIMER, Chandigarh. Besides this, Dr. Prakash has a very bright past and future also, and he has been working as an adjunct faculty at Department of Physical and Rehabilitation Medicine, PGIMER, Chandigarh. Not only this, he is a deputy coordinator of Pharmacovigilance Center at PGIMER, Chandigarh. Dr. Prakash has been associated with Indian Pharmacological Journal, that is Indian Journal of Pharmacology, that is a official journal of Pharmacological Society, Indian Pharmacology Society, and he is holding a position of associate editor at this journal. He is an executive member note of Indian Pharmacological Society. Also, he is a member of Innovation Council PGIMER Chandigarh, and he has more than 200 publications in international and national journal of repute in his credit, which is having more than 3,000 citations and 25 H index. So it shows its wide capability and the contribution to the scientific world. He published 4 books, and the book chapters are many, more than 60 book chapters he wrote. And his basic or broad area of research are the neurological diseases, which not only includes Alzheimer's but Parkinson, autism, resistant epilepsy, stroke. He is also interested in silico analysis, meta-analysis, and pharmacogenomics. So he has a vibrant personality in personal as well as in scientific world. So I warmly welcome you, Dr. Ajay Prakash, for today's seminar. That you humbly accepted our request to deliver this. So before moving to Dr. Ajay Prakash for his final presentation on the talk of the day, I would like to request Dr. Anil Sharma, who is an HOD, Department of Biotechnology at Maharishi Markandeeshwar University, to please say few words as an opening remark and enlighten us. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Ujjwal. A very good afternoon to all. And first of all, I would greatly appreciate and welcome Professor Ajay Prakash,
Thank you so much.
whose nice introduction done by Dr. Ujjwal. We are immensely proud to know about his achievement. And what I feel is regarding the topic, because the backbone of any institute rely upon the 3 parameters, basically 3 parameters. One is the imparting the quality education, and then second is the research, and third is the service to the mankind. So these 3 criteria, if we follow ethically, I guess any institute, any individual can grow, and any country can grow to a maximal extent. And during the last decades or so, it's a very pleasant news that our country has emerged as the top 10 countries in the world in terms of most highly cited papers. So that is a very, very pleasant news, with China on the top and USA being the number 2. So, but simultaneously, the way we are progressing and we are consistently doing this research process and publishing our papers, there comes the challenges also. I always feel that there is a peer pressure all around nowadays, no matter whether it is a research institute or a university. Uh, we are expected to perform in terms of publication, and with the theory that either you publish or perish. So, so there is an immense pressure on the research and faculty fraternity also. So, and by virtue of which may lead to commit many cardinal sins also, like I used to teach this paper for our PhD scholars also, research, publications, and ethics, and people may adapt some shortcut measures like fabrication, falsification, and plagiarism also. So we had to follow all the ethical guidelines in order to proceed ethically and progress in terms of research. So that's why I like this topic, the one which is agreed upon by Professor Prakash. So we truly anticipate that this particular webinar will definitely generate lots of deliberations among the faculty members, and we will be immensely enriched also, so that we can pass on this thing to our students, as well as students also will be immensely benefited through this talk. So with that said, I think I won't take much time. I am again profoundly thank Dr. Ajay Prakash for being very kindly agreed to this particular webinar, and welcome you, sir, and over to Dr. Ujjwal for further proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening word on this very important aspect of the publications, and which is nowadays is very important in this current scenario. So now it's better to hear from the expert, which is Dr. Ajay Prakash for today. So now I would like to request you, Dr. Ajay, to please proceed with your presentation. Over to you, Dr. Ajay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Ujjwal. Thank you so much, Dr. Anil Sharma, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Actually, when Dr. Ujjwal asked me on which topic you will say, actually, sir, we are running 14 to 15 skill development program from PGI to complete India, you can say pan-India, and also SAARC countries. So regarding this topic, I thought this is thought-provoking, and also, as you already said, that very important for the institution essay. So as much as the research going on, the publication is made, and based on that ranking even came. So that's why we saw that there is, I think, a new batch also there, old batch also there, faculties are also there. So it is good to start with this topic. So I'm just starting my talk. Thank you so much once again for inviting me for this wonderful platform. Thank you so much. So coming, my slides are changing.
Yes, Dr. Ajay, they are changing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. So now, as we already know that scientific writing and ethical aspect, the topic I have chosen, thing is that it seems very simple, but when we critically analyze these scientific writing, ethical aspect, and altogether publication as a different domain. So understand that whenever we are doing any research, we are doing anything, suppose related to research, even we are giving our expert opinion, whether it is newspaper, whether it is in the scientific journal, scientific forum, these all are documented. And if it is documented over there, it is there for a long time and it gives some input to the scientific community. So when we talk about the publication, so the importance of publication is that, as already Dr. Anisa said, that institution ranking also depend on that. That is, every year the ranking came over there. So the how much good publication, now even the publication, you can say the research article, not only the source, even how much you are going to write the review paper as an expert, how much you are writing as an expert opinion, how much you are writing for the good research proposal. These all are nothing but the scientific community or scientific publication or scientific writing. See, even a few years back, if you write some protocol for the funding agency, even to fund some proposal, research proposal, they was not asking the plagiarism check. But right now, if you want, you have to certify also that whatever you have written as a research proposal is also having good, or you can say the good innovative idea or having the novelty in that. So the plagiarism less than 10% they are going to accept. even you write any research proposal over there. So what is publication? Publication, nothing overall, it is divided in our scientific community. If you say we all are deal with the first, you can say first, just a sec. Yeah, we all be checking all these as a scholarly publication. A scholarly publication means this scholarly publication is nothing but that whenever you are come across with some experiment, you have done some experiment or build some primary data, understand primary data in all together. It is important in the research, important in clinical outcome, even for the patients. Whatever the data we are gathering, whatever the lab reports we are getting, these all are the part of the scientific communication. So when we are dealing with any publication, always remember that for the scholarly publication or scholarly journal, you must retain the source document of all this, whether you have written in your register as a raw data, whether you have collected some information from the patient like reports. Understood. So each thing should be keep over there for that. See, whenever we talk about the research publication, always remember we deal with the peer review process. What do we mean by peer review? We always came to know that our journal are well peer reviewed journal. So peer review is nothing but it is a quality check of a journal. Quality check means that whether the whatever the article journal getting, whether it is have the enough novelty, you can say novelty, whether it have innovation, whether it have some scientific outcome so that it will give something new to the social society, you can say. So what will happen when we deal with these type of the things, you must aware that when you submit your article for any journal publication, it must go from the peer reviewed journal, or I can say that you submit those article only to those journal which is peer reviewed. Okay, so that the quality check must be done. See, whenever we talk about the publication mainly deal with the three players. Main three players are first of all author. Author is no one, that is a researcher. You have done their experiment, collected their data, written the scientific publication and scientific, or you can say the original research they have written or research paper they have written and submitted to some journal. When this submitted to any of the journal goes to the blinded reviewer. Always remember that it goes to the blinded reviewer. Whatever I will talking this publication, I will also talk about from the perspective of author, because I am a researcher also. I am used to submit the article, and also I am also a reviewer from some good journal internationally, and I am also associate editor. So I will talk about all the three aspects: what is their lacuna, what is important, how you can propose your any article in a good format so that you can go and submit to some good journals. Okay. So when we submit, any author submit to the journal, what will happen? Journal send it to some blinded reviewer. See, blinded word is very, very important. Reason being, it's all there in the database of that company, and it never be shown to the editors. It may and may not be hidden. It's according to the policy of the journal and the society the journal is linked to. Understood? So when it deal with the blinded reviewer, you know that the journal is scientifically good enough, having well repute, of good impact factor. Understood? And third is nothing but the journal where you are going to submit. So if the journal, you are submitting some author article to the journal have the responsibility, or each journal. Why it is important? Because each journal have their mandate. Suppose I am an associate editor of Indian Journal of Pharmacology. So pharmacology journal have main mandate of the drug related work. Drug related work or any effect which is come from that drug, whether it is a side effect, whether it is a toxic effect, or if it is a pharmacological effect, as we are doing our experiments. So always remember, each journal have their mandate to publish the article. So whenever you are going to submit any article of any journal, So first you go and check the mandate of those journal, whether your whatever the hypothesis you have made for the writing the article or for the experiment, afterward you are going for the registration and doing the experiment and getting the data and going to publish it. So whenever you going to select the journal, always try to look the mandate and the scope of those journals so that you can see whatever your objective is going to fit into the mandate of those journals, so that it will be more and more chance to accept those journals. Otherwise, if you submit any journal, you see rejection 1 and 2 days. Why it is so? Reason being that whatever the article you are submitted is not of the same mandate which matches to the journal profile. So always remember, first you check your hypothesis objective, check the mandate of journal, then only submit the article. And the impact factor selection all upon you, the quality of work you have done, whether it will go more than 2 impact factor, whether it will go more than 5. So that depends of your type and quality of the research you have. So overall, what we all gone through the publication. Now, what is the publication ethics? See, if we are in the research or even in the clinics, or whether it is in the research field or scientific field, you can say. So we all have some ethics in each and every field. So in publication ethics, why it is important? Important is that ethics always say about the moral. Moral is nothing but the what you should not do in the publication, or what you should do. Do's and don'ts must be there for the maintaining the balance between your publication and ethics. So mainly whatever the main criteria of the publication is violation, that is the data fabrication. In detail, after few slides we will go to in detail of these. Data fabrication or falsification, plagiarism, multiple submission, redundant publication, improper author contribution or attribution. So these are the major publication ethics issues, you can say, publication ethics issues, which comes for the journal editors to look each and every aspect of whether you the data is copied from all the, we have data, I think that data in 1 or 2 slides after. So what we are going to do in the publication, see, whenever we are writing any protocol that based on some innovative your idea, innovative hypothesis, after doing that, what you are, it is not only you have written the protocol, you are going to write some publication. See, it is a process. From the date you have written your protocol, your type of the article, which type of the article you are going to write, which type of the quality you are try to get the observed data must be, which type of the category of the test going to apply over there, that all should be finalized into your protocol. So because what will happen now, we always think of the publication, when we done everything. I mean, suppose we protocol is writing done, that approved from ethics committee also. Now you have done your experiment, you've done your observation, your result analysis done. Then you are going to select the journal, then you are going to select the article, which type of the article you are going to write. See, it is a very old track and it is not an innovative one. What you should do whenever you are planning for any hypothesis, always try to make that this hypothesis, what is the target journal, where you can target. So initial phase only, you just target which journal you want to publish your article. Accordingly, you just plan for those journal, those type of the article, for high quality article, which parameter you need. If you once finalize which parameter you need, then automatically your protocol will be very, very strong, which will also correlate with quality of those journal in which you want to submit your article. So once you all done publication, start writing all those whenever you get the data. So always think the publication, writing publication or original article is not the starting point of end of the experiment. It is the, always remember that it is the starting point when you are designing your protocol. So always remember, do conceptualize where you want to submit your article, then only you go and do the protocol designing and parameter division. So this is composed of several steps: writing protocol, submitting protocol, editing protocol, amendment of protocol, then ethical approval, then you have to work as per your protocol for the experimental design. So thereafter you want publication. See, this needs a complete work of the experimental work. But always remember, when you thought of any patent, if you thought of any patent come out from your research work, always remember, do not go for publication. If you go for the publication, they are afterward you file the patent, it will say that it is already in the public domain. So your patentable item may not patent since you already published your data. So always remember, for patentability, you need innovation, novelty, and commercialization. These three factors are very, very important. So whenever you want to patent anything, never go for the publication. Even any type of the news also, you do not explore in your department, or that completely means that you must be very privately done all your work so that it will not come into the public domain. Even one single line of news also can be devoid you from the patent. Understood? So always remember, patent and publication is good adversary. Okay, so what do you mean ethics? Ethics nothing but the moral principle, how you should go and what is right in that direction. Suppose we are dealing with the scientific writing. So what will be the important in scientific writing? See, whatever you are writing should not copy anyone. Whatever you are writing, that should be novel, that should come from your mind. What you are going to write, that should replicate some social ability or social importance. Understood? These are the basic moral thing which you have to be keep in mind when you deal with any publication of scientific writing. See, this is very, very important graph, and see this graph show the number of publication each year. Since I have get the data only up to 2015, but see the trend, it is increasing only. What this graph says, it is published in BMJ, British Medical Journal, which is Good Impact Factor Journal. Okay, it says about the number of publication till 2015, and red line shows the number of retraction. Understood? Number of retraction exponentially increase in these during 15. So till 2020, I think it is more also. Understood? So number of publication is correspondingly number of retraction. And now understand what is retraction. See, retraction as it is a thing which give you the bad name to you also, your institute also. So retraction is increasing day by day due to several reasons. What are the reasons? Next slide I will let you know. But understand that for save yourself, your institution by retraction, always try to hypothesize your own innovative idea should be there, and whatever writing, do not copy paste, just write yourself. There may chances that it will take more than 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, but it should be novel work. Understood? Otherwise, if you have published 100 papers, but if one retraction done by your name, then all 100 published paper will be going into the drain. Understood? So retraction is the bad name in the scientific community. So you must save yourself by the retraction. So this is day by day increasing due to the copy paste and some ethical issues, some redundant publication, some falsification of the results. So there are so many reasons. So these are the reasons by which these having the more and more retraction of the article. See, most questionable data, this is having the 43%, means whatever the data you are going to submit, in the peer reviewed processes came that the whatever data you have submitted or answer you have given having the questionable identity. So that's why your article was rejected over there. These are the retracted article. Okay. So research misconduct, whether you have not taken the ethical approval or if you taken the ethical approval but done non-ethical work. So that is the 20%, you would see 20% in the research misconduct. Publication misconduct. Publication misconduct means plagiarism may be there, duplication publication must be there, authorship issues. See, nowadays these authorship issues is also in the we also, as a editor, we also get several mail from several authors, or you can say co-author, that I was the first author, but our first authorship was taken from somebody else. So this will also give you bad name. See, whenever we are getting these type of the mail from any author or co-author, then we are bound to write, or we are bound to write to the institutional head, so that you go ahead and check what is there in that matter. So until unless we get the mail from the head of institution, we are not going to process those articles, or the easiest way to reject from for the publication, they can send to the other journal. So it is what is happening, that you have to maintain the scientific equality, and scientific misconduct must be stopped, or you can say minimized. So authorship issues also right now is increasing day by day. Unspecified copyright issues, but it was not much issue, because it is whenever you are submitting any journal, any article to the journal, you remember that you are shifting your copyright to the journal. So it is whenever the copyright issued came, it have to be redirected to the publication or publication house. Okay, so again the publication misconduct, publication error, publisher error, you can say, or reason, no reason given in hesitation. So overall, if you see the what is the reason of retraction, is that questionable data and research misconduct. So these two are deal mainly with the publication ethics. So you must take care of all these points whenever you want to submit any article. So whenever we deal with some this research misconduct, understood that research integrity. See, we have categorized it into the 2 and 3 types. Research misconduct means research integrity violation. Research integrity is nothing but the on which your complete data or complete your article is depend upon. So what is the mean in the research article is the data, is your what is the raw data which you have represented into the article, in the original article, or the research article in the publication. So what will happen if any reviewer find your data questionable? See, 43% was in the redundant publication, retracted publication. So what will happen if the research integrity violation is done through the fabrication and falsification? See, what is the fabrication? Fabrication, nothing but the whatever the data you have received, you change some of the data or some of the values for making some significant change in the result. But falsification is altogether you have not done the experiment, and you have on the table you made the complete data and submitted to the article. See, those falsification is the crime. It is not the ethical issue, it is a crime, falsification. Fabrication is comes under the publication ethics, but it should be maintained under the your plagiarism label. Whatever the plagiarism label is there, you must correct your, but fabrication never do with your data simply. So fabrication or falsification is comes under the misconduct. It is a crime for the, as in the publication house. If you go and attend some editorial conferences, there they are discussing the fabrication, falsification is not at all accepted in the publication domain. Second is the publication ethics violation, in which plagiarism is the must, where you copy, paste everything. Duplicate publication is there. Duplicate publication means it is also sometimes named as a self-plagiarism, where you have made one publication and same article you send to some other journal for publication. So both are published. So there are so many articles available online where you will see the duplicate publication, self-plagiarism, and the inappropriate authorship. See, inappropriate authorship is those authorship. It is in the authorship section of the editorial guideline. It is written over there that whenever you define authorship, you must also say the role of those authors. What, suppose you have 5 authors, what the all 5 authors done in your experiments, what all these 5 authors done in your publication writing, whether they have conceptualized, whether you have done the experiment, whether you have collected the data, whether they have approved the data, whether they have the all approval authority they have, means you have simply you have to define the role of each and every author. If you go and check the good journals, they always ask just define what is the role of each authors. So this is the main and important way to do the publication ethics, so that you will justify also. Okay, this was done. So overall, if you see the publication ethics, the more issue with the redundant publication. See, what do you mean by redundant publication? Redundant publication, you can say it is a duplicate publication also, but in redundant publication, something new also came, such that the table or some figure which cannot be picked by the plagiarism software, understood? But you copied whole table from other article, or you copied some figure from some article, so it will give you that will lead to the redundant publication. So it is the highest in number. 16% have the animal welfare. Suppose you are doing some experiment on the animals and you have not taken the IEC approval, or you have not taken, or you have taken but done, you have changed or you have violated the protocol. So it is also comes on the animal welfare concern. Authorship dispute. See, 14% is the authorship dispute. Means the author among themselves do not have any, you can say that they do not agree with each other. Means if first author someone claim that no experiment was done by me and I must be the first author. So we are always saying that whenever you are dealing with these type of the issues, always remember that you, while writing the research paper, always all co-investigators sit together and finalize the thing on authorship order, so that these issues should not become afterwards, sending those articles or publishing those articles. So duplicate publication, once again, human welfare. As the animal welfare, we have human welfare also. So 8% is that also. Data fabrication, plagiarism, conflict of interest, other submission issue, that is the irregularity of submission. So always when we talk about the publication thing, remember that all things starting from the protocol writing to your collection of or observation of the data, it all comes under publication ethics. So you should maintain, it is not one thing. You have to maintain those ethical conduct each step, from protocol writing to experiment. In experiment also you have to do experiment it all in the truthful manner, and whatever the observation you are making, so that do not fabricate those results, just write down what you are getting. Okay, then you just go for and then discuss the result and then analyze your research and finalize your publication. So whenever we deal with, always remember that in the last, as we said, there are the maximum publication is the redundant publication. Then plagiarism, misconduct, overlap, or you can say the duplicate. Honest error. Honest error means there may be systematic error. While submitting you have done some error. So these are the types of the error in them. Now, this is very, very important. So mainly if we talk about the publication ethics, remember that we classify into 4 things. First is the authorship, second is the duplicate publication, third is the misconduct and conflict of error. Now what is this? If you have the authorship issues, always corresponding author are the responsibility. So whenever, even we also write to when some these type of issues came, authorship issues came, we are getting some mail from some co-authors, we writing to the head of institution and corresponding authors. So better, always better that when you have any these type of you thought of some authorship issue may be done, better sit all together and define the role. Now, ghost authorship, ghost and gift and honorary author. Now, this is some type you say that it is fill up. All the article have some gift author, all the article have some honorary author. See, what are they? Ghost author are those authors who have done each and everything, or they have even write everything, but their name is not there. Means this is one type of the CRO who is working on the scientific writing. You given your all data, you given your all data, to those CRO and say to write article for you. So they will write on based on your data, but their name will not be there. Understood? These are the ghost author. Guest author is nothing but they have supported your thought, whether they have supported your work somehow. So you are just given as a guest authorship. Gift and honorary authorship is mainly done in academic institution and mainly to give honor to our principal, give honor to our director, give our senior person or senior professor who anyhow going to relate that to your work. So that thing we are doing in the authorship. So always remember, overall, whenever the authorship issues must be there, no? So always key principal role lies with the corresponding author only. So whenever authorship come, all these ghost, guest, gift, and honorary authorship must be discussed with the corresponding author. Okay. So now the misconduct, disclaimer, permission, falsification, fabrication, plagiarism, and fraud. These all are the major concern. Already told that falsification or fabrication is the fraud. It comes under the Criminal Act. Whereas the other author related, institute related issues are there, you must define the conflict of interest. See, when we deal with the conflict of interest, we always say that whether the conflict of interest is related to the person, whether whatever you have done is your relative, whether anyhow you have blood relations. So these are the conflict of whether you have some financial gain or you do not have any financial gain. So mainly conflict of interest is concerned with this, that whenever you say, you have to define whenever you're going to submit those work or as a publication, ethical publication, so what will happen, you have to define key, you do not have any conflict of interest. If any conflict of interest is there, you must define whether it is financial conflict, whether it is the personal conflict, whether it is institutional conflict. So you must define all those. So content, always remember that when we deal with any publication or article, you can say publication article of the original or even review article. So always remember we deal with best quality article. So whenever we deal or we are receiving, see in IJP, Indian Pharmacology, Indian Journal of Pharmacology, every day we are receiving at last 40 to 50 articles. So it is not possible to go each and every article. So screening is done based on the quality, their content, their data input. So always remember the prime important thing is the quality of your data. Accuracy is also very, very important. We deal directly, indirectly with your quality. Readability means whatever the article you have written, whether it is readability quality. Readability quality means whether it is keeping interest of the reader or not. So that's why I said whenever you are going to select any journal for your article, always remember that you go and check the mandate. Okay, mandate, based on that you just write, grammatically it should be good, syntax wise it is good, credibility wise it is good. So that's how, so that whenever any author or any researcher who want to read your article should go with his flow only. So the writing of those, English must be good, grammar should be good, syntax is good. So readability and credibility must be there, which all depend with the start with the basic of your raw data. Okay. So publication, what is the publication? Collaboration, mutual responsibility of all the authors and co-author. If you have some different co-author from different institution, you have also keep those co-investigator or co-principal investigator in a pool while designing the experiment, designing the article for publication. Okay. Intellectually, honesty is important, processing, performance, and reporting the research, very, very important. Accuracy in representing the contribution is must be there. Do not go into fabrication, all those. Resource sharing in scientific interaction, including the communication. So communication is must. So whenever any researcher is doing at the investigator, co-investigator on the watch level or guided level, the communication between the lower or you can say researcher level or experimenter level to the guide level must be very frequent and very thought-provoking and should be regular. Otherwise, if communication gap occurs, the difference is going to be start at the last. So transparency in the conflict of interest is also very, very important. Conduct of research means whenever you are going to do any animal or human study, it is always better to take ethical approval, issued animal ethics committee approval or issued ethics committee approval for humans. So it is always needed because now I think 100% journal are asking for that. Whether your article, your journal is or your whatever research work is approved from the ethics committee or not. And fairness in the peer review. Already I have told that peer review process is the mandatory, and having the best quality journal always maintain the peer review process in the blinded manner. So that even the reviewer also not came to know this article author, who is the author of this article. And even the author also do not know where your article sent to the that reviewing purpose. So always this is a double blinded manner, always. So always whenever we deal with the work, always remember the work, innovation or novelty must always be reflected in the publication. So innovation, genuineness, applicability and societal. So it is nothing but the social outcome of your result. That should be there so that the readability increase. See, each journal need to and they want to publish those articles which have the more and more reader, so that their impact factor of the journal also increase. How much article is going to cite over there, how much journal they only accept those article in their journal which of the current affairs. Current means it is in the highest position, so that the day after 1 month, 2 months, they got more and more citation. Understood? So these are the factors which is influencing. So overall, if you talk about this ethics for the scientific publication, redundant, plagiarism, falsification, conflict of other authorship problem. These are the main. Okay. And for dealing with, always remember we have several committees which are going to handle these issues for the ethical. That is, one is the informed acquisition for a manuscript from the International Council for Medical Journal Editors. COPE is nothing but the Committee for the Publication Ethics. Understood? These are the guideline issues organization which parallelly see the quality of the journal, their regularness, whether it is publication every month. Suppose in the Journal of Pharmacology published bi-monthly, so they will also keep checking that whether is it coming on the regular interval or not. So quality of journal is also chosen from there also. So always when we try to do and submit those articles to the good journal, so they maintain the quality. Simple, they maintain their quality by any means. So if we talk about the authorship and the co-investigator, always remember that we have to give name only to those who have the substantial contribution to the study, whether it is the conceptualization, whether it is the design, whether the acquisition of data, analysis or interpretation of the data. Okay, drafting article and revising it is also a critical role. So they are also given as a authorship or having the co-authorship. Understood? So final approval must be verified by all author and co-authors. That is must, because in copyright form we need signature of each and every author. Okay. So criteria, what are the criteria? The same already I will say that the acquisition analysis. So this is the same. I'm not going to tell off all this. So meanwhile, if you say that authors have several roles, the same way editor and co-editors, such as we are the editor and associate editor, we also have the responsibilities to keep our journal up to mark, quality wise also, their sequence wise also, the number of article wise also. So we used to publish several articles in journal. What are those articles? The problem is that when we got some authorship issues, we always say that if we get the authorship issue, we go, it is the unethical authorship issue, means that you have not dealt with in yourself, you have never discussed it, how the authorship must be there. So always the role of the editor here is the crucial to maintaining the quality of that article also, so that it will not get bad name also, or your problem also got solved. So we have the several stringent rule where we have to contacting your institution or your corresponding author, and meanwhile sort it out for the authorship problem. Then again, the conflict of interest, already told you that it have the financial, personal, academic, or intellectual problem. So type of the reviewer, see, whenever we deal with the reviewing your article for the journal, always we have the three type of the reviewers. One is the subject expert. Subject expert means the article, suppose you have submitted in vitro study, some cell line work you have submitted, that we cannot send to some reviewer which is expertise in the human study, or they have expertise in the animal study. So we will select those reviewer which have the expertise in your area, whether it is in vitro, suppose you have in silico data, suppose computer assisted drug designing you have written, so we will send to the bioinformatics person. So the editor and their editorial team have some responsibility regarding the subject selection. Okay. Conflict of interest also, we have to determine conflict of interest, whether the article came is not from our relative, or we do not have any financial interest. Okay, so that also we have to say. So major the publication responsibility of those article is also our responsibility. So that's why we always try to do that. Reviewer must be blinded so that everything is sorted it out. So we send the article to 2 reviewer at least, or we can send more than 2 reviewer. But if we can take decision only when we receive the comments from at least 2 reviewer, we never we finalize our article from one reviewer. So more, 2 or more we can say. I'm just preventing. So how you would prevent to these have the misconduct, because misconduct will give bad name to you, your institution. So what will you have to do? Whatever you are going to do, better to do ethically. Okay, do not fabricate anything, do not falsificate anything. Whatever the authorship issue, just discuss amongst it before publication, before submit it to the some journal for publication. Just sort it out the authorship issues and sign the copyright. Always take the signature of copyright so that they will. Now, this is the very, very important for you people who are working academics, working research institution. India have issued the gazetted notification on the plagiarism issue. Okay, 2018, 31st July 2018, they have issued in the plagiarism. Okay, so what will happen through this plagiarism? They have defined this plagiarism into the 4 levels: level 0, level 0, level 1, level 2, and level 3. See, level 0 is less than 10% similarity index must be there. So there is no penalty. Understand? Level 1 is similarity above the 10% to 40%. Then it is level 1 plagiarism. Level 2 plagiarism, you have copied more than the 40% to 60%. So it will be there level 2 plagiarism. Level 3 is similarity above 60%. So they have categorized the plagiarism or copyright or similarity index. Based on this similarity index, they have categorized the plagiarism several levels, level 0, 1, 2, 3. So accordingly, they have issued the penalty to student also, their faculty member also, under which they have done the experimental work. So it is for both. If plagiarism is 0%, 0 level means less than 10%, minor similarity, no penalty given. If level 1 similarity means 10 to 40%, such students shall be asked to submit a revised manuscript within a stipulated time period, not exceeding 6 months. Means that is less than 6 months, to rectify those plagiarism of the 10 to 40% and resubmit within 6 months. That will be issued by the authority. Then level 2 is 40 to 60%. Here the penalty is such a student shall be debarred from the submitting a revised script for a period of 1 year. Means if you are going to submit your thesis of 40 to 60% of plagiarism, your thesis is not going to submit next 1 year. After 1 year, you are able to submit the thesis. If level 3 plagiarism there, above 60% similarity, then such a resignation for the program shall be cancelled. Registration means your registration will be cancelled if your thesis is more than 60%. And the same way, I have not kept a penalty for the faculties, but in same way, Gazette notification issued the faculty penalty also in the same manner. Okay, so that's why whenever you are dealing with any writing, whether it is a protocol, whether it is funding protocol writing, whether it is a protocol writing for your thesis work, whether it is the thesis writing, final thesis writing, or even some report writing, that should not be more than 10%. And institution have their own, such as in PGI, we are having for the thesis purpose, we have kept the limit of 17%. So all the institutions have different for the thesis purpose. But what the gazetification notification is there, it must be less than 10%. So try to maintain this level less than 10% so that you will be safe at everywhere. Okay, so these are the major issues: falsification, plagiarism, authorship, misconduct, idea of others, violation of general accepted rule, material failure. So these are the several issues I'm not going to deal. So always remember, when we deal these type of the publication ethics, we always try to take help from these committee on the publication ethics, which is a committee of the publication ethics and international forum of editors and publisher of peer-reviewed journal, all the review, to maintain the good code of conduct for the publication writing and publication good research. Understood? So COPE guideline you must go and read. This is fruitful for you all people who are researchers who are going to work from next 25-30 years. It is good to know that these all guidelines are free of cost and free in the Google. So just go and write the COPE guideline for the publication and you will get it. Okay. So what will happen? What is the main idea of the COPE guideline? The main idea of the COPE guideline, it will give you the guideline for each: study design, ethical approval, data analysis, authorship, conflict of interest, peer review process, redundant publication. So they will give you each and everything. Understood? So COPE guideline will give you, go and read very good articles over there. So second is the International Committee on the Medical Journals Editors, which have also given the guideline. If you say just read one also, it is enough for you, because whole and soul 70 to 80% are the same contained in all the guidelines. But these all are the different forum which comes under. So you may, and if you try to read, it is good enough. So these are the another International Committee for Medical Editors. So there, this is the front page of that guideline. If you say see the role and responsibility of author, contributor, everything, journal or the publication ethical issues, manuscript, how you are going to prepare and submit each and every guideline, sending the manuscript to the journal, means they are giving each and every guideline. Understood? So just go and read this. Good for you all people. So recommendation by these that they recommend the mainly to conduct good standards for the conduct and reporting of the research, and mainly help authors, editors, and other involved peer review process. Reason biomedical research creates the distribute accuracy, clear reproducibility, and biased medical journal. Understood? This is very important. So I'm not going to tell. And this is the another ICMR have issued 2019 guideline for the ICMR policies on the research integrity and publication ethics. So you can also go to this ICMR if you follow this. So the same thing, again it will talk about the highest professional and ethical standard, right from the inception, honesty, conduct of the research to efficacy and approval of your protocol, judicial use of resources, accountability, transparency, declaration and management, and conflict of interest. Means same thing. They all will talk about the same thing, but thing is this is all different. If you can read any of this, it is kind enough. So again, the scope is the same. So that's about our scientific writing publication ethics. If you have any question, do us, because this is a discussion point is very, very important. That's why I say that 5 to 10 minutes I will give to a discussion only, because many people have many queries in scientific writing publication. So thank you. Thanks a lot. So if you have any question, I will happy to answer.